So today we're doing some neck mobilizations with the blue Pilates ball. So I'm going to start with the ball under my head, just at the midpoint at the back of the head, what's called the occipital protuberance, so a little pointy bit at the back of the head. So I feel that none of my vertebrae of the neck are on the ball, my neck is just hanging freely in space. From here, just letting the head be nice and heavy onto the ball. I've got my hands on the hips just at the front of the pelvis, with the elbows reaching out away from the shoulders and the back of the shoulders just relaxed into the mat. I'm going to turn my head to one side and just letting the weight of the head roll all the way over to the end of my range of movement, and then coming back through the centre and over to the other side. Each time just pausing for a moment, just to allow the neck muscles to lengthen and relax and stretch a little. Keeping all the weight of the body heavy into the floor, the feet are contacted into the mat, the pelvis is heavy into the mat, the back of the rib cage, the back of the shoulders heavy into the mat, and the weight of my head nice and heavy onto the ball. I'm just noticing the range of movement and also where I feel any tightness at the end of my range of movement, or if there's any kind of a restriction at either end. Last one here, and then just coming back to the center and then just doing some circles. Nice big circle all the way down to the side, over and back. Again, throughout, keeping the weight of the head supported by the ball, so that there's very little tension in the neck or shoulders, making sure that the shoulders are staying relaxed and the elbows are down away from the shoulders. Reversing direction of the circle. And just noticing whether my circle in this direction is the same as the circle in the other direction. Last one here, and then back to center. From here, just going to go into an infinity, like a side lying 8. Just getting all nice and mobile through the neck. Keeping the breathing natural. And then reversing direction. Up and around, down and across. Up and around, down and across. A nice big infinity. Each time going to the end range and back through. And the more I relax, the freer the neck becomes. Last one here, and then back to center. And then just finishing with a lift of the chin, looking up toward the ceiling, and then drawing the chin down toward the chest. Breathing out, lift the chin, breathing in, drawing the chin down toward the chest. And there's a sense of length going up the neck, out the crown, toward the other end of the room. I'm just watching that as I do my tuck of the chin toward the chest, that the shoulders are staying relaxed onto the floor. I'm not bringing any extra tension into the shoulders, keeping the jaw soft, with the teeth just a little bit apart, and the tongue on the roof of the mouth just behind the 2 front teeth. 3 more here, a nice long deep inhale, reaching the crown of the head away from the shoulders, and then the exhale, bringing the chin back up. 2 more times. Lengthen through the back of the neck, keep the shoulders relaxed, And last one. Reaching away through the crown, keeping the weight of the head onto the ball. And then breathing out and lifting the chin. So now that I've assessed how my neck movement feels, I'm going to go into a little bit of release for the upper trapezius muscles, the levator scapulae in the top of the shoulders, muscles that get very tense through kind of daily life, daily use. So you're going to take the ball away and just bring a small cushion under your head. You're going to have your two spiky balls. I'm going to put them just under the top of the shoulder. So if I just go to a little curl up and just bring them to the top of the shoulders, a little bit underneath, and then coming down to the floor. I'm just going to move back a little bit so I feel the balls just moving in under the tops of the shoulders there. I'm going to have stretchy band in my hands just to help keep the alignment for the arms. The hands are starting at shoulder width with the fingertips up to the ceiling. I'm going to take a breath in here and breathing out and just letting the weight of the arms relax overhead toward the floor, and I immediately feel the spiky balls pressing into those muscles in the tops of the shoulders, and then breathing in and bringing the arms back up. Again, breathing out, taking the arms overhead, very relaxed with the arms, just letting gravity bring them down toward the floor, just to my end of range of movement, and then coming back up toward the ceiling. Throughout, I'm just keeping the legs relaxed, the thighs relaxed, the pelvis grounded, the rib cage into the floor, the backs of the shoulders relaxed, and the weight of the head heavy onto my little head support. And when I come down there, if I want, I can just stay a little bit longer and just let the weight of the arms bring a little bit more pressure. Oh, there's the floor. A little more pressure onto the muscles, allowing them just to release off. And there's the floor on the other side. And then coming back up. Two more here. Just watch as you're breathing in that you're not breathing in and flaring the rib cage up toward the ceiling. So I'm thinking of my breath going nice and wide into the sides of the rib cage. Last one, breathing out. Nice and relaxed. Just sinking into the balls. And then coming back up toward the ceiling. I'm just going to bring my hands a little narrower, not narrower than shoulders. And then same here. On the exhale, arms are coming over. And this is just increase the amount of pressure into the muscles there. So it's a little more intense here. You might notice that I'm not reaching the floor now, where I was before. Now just very relaxed with the arms going over the exhale. And then with the inhale coming back up. 4 more times here. Also, if it feels a little uncomfortable in the shoulders, you can try turning the palms in the way so they're facing toward each other. Just puts the shoulder joint in a little easier alignment for the arms going back over. You might find as well that slightly changes the pressure of the spiky balls into the muscles. And the last one here. All the way out with the breath, sinking onto the balls, and then coming back up. So I'm just going to pop the band away, bringing both arms up and taking them overhead toward the floor. Again, you can have the palms up or the palms turned in to face each other. I'm just coming down to the point where my arms stop, there's nowhere further to go, and the muscles there are getting a good firm press. And then just small circles with the arms, and just using that circular movement to massage into the muscles a little bit more, digging into that tension, releasing off the tension, And try to keep them nice and slow and smooth. And then reversing the circles. If we go a little wider, I just feel a different effect of the massage into the muscles. When I come narrower, then it's a little more intense there again. So just working in the position that you feel is most beneficial to the muscles in the top of your shoulders today. Last one here. And then just bringing the arms back up. I'm going to take the spiky balls out and just pop them down on the floor. And then just relax the arms down by the side and just notice how the shoulders feel there now. Feels to me like the back of the shoulders are dropping a little more to the floor. Feels a little bit melted around the top of the shoulders and the neck there. So then just taking the cushion away, I'm going to grab my blue ball back, pop under my head where we started, hands back onto the hips, the elbows down by the side, and then again just going into my rotations. I'm aware that I turned to the left firstly last time, so I'm going to turn the other way this time. And then coming back through the centre and over to the other side. Just noticing whether your range of movement has increased, whether there's less tension, where there were tightnesses before, or if there was a restriction, whether those tightnesses have released, and if the restriction has passed. And then, last time here, and coming back to the centre. So now that I've released the muscles off around the tops of the shoulders, upper trapezius and the liberate scapulae muscle, all attaching up into the neck and the back of the head here, I'm going to move on to another area which is often particularly tight and causes a lot of restriction into the neck and shoulders, and also quite responsible for a lot of common headaches that we get. So I'm going to take the ball away for now, and I've got a little Batman here in my pocket, just a little quite soft bouncy ball coming over onto my side, and I'm just going to put the ball just to the inside of the top tip of the shoulder blade. So the corner of my shoulder blade is just here, and then I'm just bring the ball just to inside there toward the spine, not on the spine, but in between those two places, and then coming back down onto my back. A little cushion under the head just to support the neck alignment. And now that I'm here, I can feel the ball just under the shoulder there, just the inside of the tip of the shoulder blade. So I just might move around a little bit just to find whether a little higher or, oh there it is, a little higher or a little lower there might be a point of tension. I want to start on that point of tension there. So I'm going to have my right palm turned in, facing the side of the body. So the pinky's to the mat and the thumb points up to the ceiling. From here, breathing in, bringing the arm up and over toward the floor, and then breathing out, coming back down by the side. Breathing in, bringing the arm up nice and slowly, going over toward the floor, and then breathing out, coming back down by the side. And one more time here, bringing the arm up and over. Nice deep inhale. You're bringing that contact into the ball, and then with the exhale, coming back down by the side. I'm going to bring the arm over toward my left leg, and then from here going away on a diagonal with the inhale down toward the floor, and then the exhale coming back toward the thigh. Breathing in, up and over, and breathing out, coming back toward the thigh. The whole time I'm maintaining that alignment of the arm, so as I go back, the thumb comes down toward the floor, and then as the arm comes forward, it's the pinky that comes back toward the thigh. So now I bring the arm back down by my side. I'm just going to move up the mat about an inch and a half, so the ball moves down the way toward the center of the shoulder blade. Like I'm not on the shoulder blade, I'm just to the inside of the shoulder blade toward the spine. And then again, breathing in, arm comes up and over, quite gristly in there, breathing out and coming back toward the center. And be quite intuitive with your positioning, so I can feel that it's just to the side of quite a nasty point there, so I'll just shift very slightly over and now I'm right on that tight, tense point. Just in the rhomboids there. The last one here, and then bringing the arm back down by the side and over toward the opposite thigh. And then again, breathing in, going away from the body on the diagonal, and breathing out, coming back toward the thigh. 2 more times here. I'll try to keep my body relaxed, keeping the weight of my rib cage there, just releasing nice and heavy onto the ball. The last one, and then coming back across on the diagonal and bring the arm back down by the side. I'm going to move up one more time. I'll take my little cushion with me and just moving so the ball now is toward the bottom tip of the shoulder blade. And we can get a bit nasty here. And then again with the arm coming up and over with the inhale, and then the exhale coming back down by the side. Just keep an eye on that alignment of the arm. You're trying to make sure that we keep thumb to the floor there at the end of the range of movement and pinky toward the floor at the start of your range of movement. Last time here. And then bringing the arm back down by the side. I feel here that my head's a little too far back because of the position of the ball now being a little lower. So I'm just going to fold my cushion in half, pop that under my head, just so the head feels a little bit more supported. And then bringing the arm across the body toward the left thigh. And then with the inhale, away on the diagonal. And then with the exhale, coming back toward the thigh. 2 more times here. A nice smooth, slow movement with the arm. And then the last one. Up and over. And just relaxing, sinking into the ball. And then coming back toward the opposite thigh. And then bringing the arm back down by the side. So now I'm just going to take the ball away and then come back down onto my back. I have both palms turned up to the ceiling, and then just taking a breath in here, breathing out, nice and relaxed, just sinking into the floor, and then just observing how the right shoulder feels now compared to the left. So just noticing whether the shoulder blade feels more contacted to the ground, whether that side of the rib cage feels any wider or more open, and also just thinking about the weight of the shoulder into the mat, how far it feels that the shoulder goes into the floor, and noticing how the front of the chest feels compared to the left side. So now moving on to the left side. So I'll just come over onto my side, and you can see right there, there's the top corner of my shoulder blade. So I want the ball to go just to the inside of that corner toward the spine, and then coming down onto the ball. And you can know pretty quickly whether you're in the right spot or not. So this time, it's the left palm turned in to face the body, with the thumb up to the ceiling and the pinky down toward the floor. Breathing in, bringing the arm up and over, and breathing out, bringing the arm back down by the side. I can just notice here immediately the tension is quite different to in the right side, which is funny being that I'm right-handed. One more time here, up and over with the inhale. Thumb comes down toward the floor without the arm rotating, and then coming back down by her side. Bringing the arm to the other side of the body toward the right thigh. Inhaling, going out and over, and the exhale coming back toward the thigh. Try to keep the arm straight, try not to change the shape of the arm to accommodate your movement. It's not so much the movement that we're concerned with as the sensation that it gives us and the feedback into the ball and the work into the connective tissue and the muscles as well. Bringing the arm back down by the side. I'm going to move a little further up so the ball comes down toward the centre of the shoulder blade, and then again with the palm facing to the side of the body. In breath for the arm to go up and over, crunch, and out breath coming back down by the side. Bringing the arm up and over with the inhale, and coming back down with the exhale. One more time, trying to keep the weight of the body nice and relaxed into the floor. But if you feel that it's a little bit too intense, you can just roll the weight just a little bit away from the ball. Just roll the head and the chest a little, going into the diagonal. And back. Well, I'm quite happy there to let the weight of the body come right down onto the ball. And one more time here. In breath over. As I'm breathing, I'm bringing my awareness deeper into the tissue there, and the connection into the ball, and then coming back with the arm toward that opposite thigh. I'm going to have to do this a few more times, I think, in my own time. So, moving a little further down, so that the ball now comes toward the bottom tip of the shoulder blade. And with the inhale going over. And the exhale, and the arm coming back down by the side. Okay, I'm noticing quite a difference on all of this side compared to the right side. I don't know whether maybe that's because this side is a little freer, getting a deeper connection into the soft tissue, the connective tissue, or if it is actually more tense than the right side. Bringing the arm across the body toward the right thigh, and then away. The thumb comes down toward the floor, and then coming back, and it's the pinky that comes toward the thigh. In breath over, and an out breath, coming back. One more time. And then coming back. And just as a little trick as well, I notice there's quite a nasty bit there. So if you notice nasty bits along your way, you can just stop on them and just doing small circles, just working into that tension, working into that area and just mobilizing it, loosening off a little bit more. You could even do a bit of an elbow bend out to the side and back up. As you become more adept at this, you can become a little more experimental with your movements and just noticing how your different movements can also affect change in the fascia, in the connective tissue, in the muscles, all that soft tissue. And then I'm just going to roll off my Batman, remove him, and coming back down onto the back, just as I started before. Both arms down by the side, just relaxing the body into the ground. I'm just becoming aware of my contact of the body to the ground and noticing how much of the shoulders feel connected to the ground, how broad I feel across the back of the shoulders, the connection of the shoulder blades to the mat, how the arms are lying, they feel more turned out, more open. Also noticing the space between the spine and the shoulder blades, feeling how the chest feels released after all that work, and also always nice to just travel down the spine to the lower back. Just observe how the lower back feels there. It might be feeling more connected to the ground than before after all that tissue up in the mid upper back there has been released and allowed to relax. So now that I've released off the shoulder muscles, bit of the neck muscles there, the mid back muscles, all that tight area between the shoulder blades that connects up into the neck, and having noticed already there's a little bit of change in the chest, we're going to move down to the chest. So I'm going to take cushion away, but not too far away because I might be using it again, and I'm going to use the soft ball. I want that to be under the shoulder blades, toward the top of the shoulder blades. Always be careful how you put that in. You don't want to be putting your shoulders in too compromising a position. So you're going to have fingers linked, the hands behind the head, and the elbows in, nice and narrow to my shoulder width. Just let the weight of the head fall back into the hands. The pelvis is grounded with a very small curl of the tailbone up toward the ceiling, just to encourage a bit of an engagement with the abdominals. Also keeping the lower back in a more open position. So as I breathe in, just stretching back over the ball with the upper body, and then breathing out and coming back up to where I started. Breathing in, going back over, keeping the elbows in narrow, and as I go over I can think just reaching the elbows a little bit away from the shoulders, so I'm just bringing a bit of a stretch into the lats here and the sides of the body, and then breathing out, focusing on the gentle pull of the abdominals, bring me back up into my curled position. 3 more times here. As I go back, I'm thinking of lengthening the spine away over the ball, being aware that the pelvis hasn't changed position, and breathing out to come back up. 2 more times, breathing in, stretching back over the ball, gently reaching the elbows away from the shoulders, just feeling the shoulder blades just slide up the back a little bit, and then coming back up with the exhale. Last time here. Just a long deep in breath over, and then coming back up. So I'm just going to lift up a little, move a bit further back so the ball comes toward the bottom of the shoulder blades, opening the elbows out to the side, and then the same movement, breathing in, going back over. So now I'm starting to get more of a stretch into the chest, and breathing out, coming back up. Be aware of the head staying nice and heavy into your hands. Support the weight of the head with the arms. And breathing out, drawing back up the abdominals. And again, tailbone just staying gently curled up toward the ceiling. And coming back up. 2 more times. Let's look at a little reach of the elbows away from the shoulders as I go back. As I breathe in, I can just feel that connection down through the arms, into the rib cage, into the diaphragm. So that deep inhale is just giving me a little bit more stretch there. And last time here, going back over. And now I'm going to stay here. Now, if your head comes to the floor and it's comfortable, you can take the hands out there. But if that feels a little bit straining on the neck, or if it's pulling on the neck, or even in the back of the neck there, what we'll do is just going to grab your cushion, and I'm going to have that either once over or folded in half, or if you have just a house cushion, and I'm going to have that behind the head. I want to feel that I'm in a comfortable place here, and there's not any tension in the neck. I'm going to bring the arms straight up to the ceiling, bending the elbows down toward the floor, and just let them go to where they go to, and then coming back up to the ceiling. I'll keep the hands on top of the elbows, so as I bend the elbows, the hands are just staying right on top of the elbows with the fingertips pointing toward the ceiling, and then coming back up toward the ceiling. Okay, and if you feel intuitively that you want to adjust your position either up or down, by all means do so. You might even feel that your ball's got a little bit too much air in it, in which case you can deflate it a little. Last one here, I'm going to keep the elbows to the floor and then rotating the arms back. So the back of the hands comes down toward the mat and then coming back up toward the ceiling. Breathing in, rotating, and breathing out, coming back up. One more time here, and rotating the arms back. Again, I've still got the tailbone gently curled up toward the ceiling, so I'm watching them not doing a big arch with the lower back. I can feel the abdominals are just gently engaged there. But now I'm just going to stay here and let the chest stretch out. So particularly across the pecs here, front of the chest, into the top of the shoulder, the deltoid there, into the arm. So letting all of that tissue stretch out. It all gets a bit tight and tense with all the driving, cooking, chopping, all the typing and the computer work, all those things that pull us forward and down and out of alignment. Is an excellent way to take it back. Bring you back into a different position, away from all that stuff, away from all the doing, and I can just lie here and be. So now I'm just going to add in a little movement, sliding the arms up the mat, and then drawing them back down toward the pelvis, and sliding up the mat, and drawing back down toward the pelvis. I can even have the palms turned in to face each other, add in a little bit more stretch there, just bringing a different awareness into the connective tissue, makes it a little stronger into the chest also. I'm just using that movement to loosen off the muscles at the front of the chest, the front of the shoulders. So hopefully each time I'm getting a little more grounded, although there's nowhere really left to go. Two more here, again just being aware that I'm not tense in the neck. And the last one, gently drawing the elbows down towards the pelvis. And you can see it pulls me up a little there, so maybe just a little too far. And then rotate the hands back up, reaching to the ceiling. I'm just going to link the fingers there, bring the hands back under the head, and then curling up off the ball. And I'm just going to come over onto my side, pop the ball back, and then coming back down onto my back. And just for a moment, lying on the ground, just feeling all the contact to the ground. I'll bring my hands back onto the hips, and just finally going into the rotation, just observing how the body feels now after all of that releasing and stretching and lengthening. Coming back to center, I'll take the ball away. So my head just lies on the floor in line with the rib cage, which is not necessarily natural, but it's a good way to just determine how the tension in the neck feels, and it should feel quite comfortable to be there now.